Ebullient greetings. I'm your host, Jacquie Bird of Jacquie Bird Spiritual Wellness, your guide to stress and anxiety relief, mindfulness, awareness, self-care, self-love, and personal growth. Welcome and thank you for joining me as we roll with peace in mind. Today's riff is power, authentic or egoic. I had planned an entirely different subject to riff on, but an incident occurred a couple days before that knocked me off my game. It was a disagreement with my landlord. He had gotten really nasty over some really stupid-ish and sounded like a small child with a temper tantrum, because that's exactly what it was. What was the incredibly insane thing he was bellyaching about? That I moved his things from a hot radiator in the hallway. Yep, you heard me. That brought his wrath upon me. That I moved his things from a hot radiator in the hallway. At first I was like, he's got to be joking. He can't possibly be serious. Oh, but he was. All over the fact that I moved things like a rubber hose, bulbs, and other crap that I found lying on the side of the radiator. He told me that he knew what was safe. This from a guy who hoped a gas leak he claimed he couldn't smell would just go away because it would cost him money to do what the utility company told him he needed to do to resolve it. Ultimately, he did have to do it because, as you know, it did not go away. And there are countless other things that have occurred that weren't safe, but oh, he knows what's safe. But back to him having a hissy fit, because I moved his stuff just feet away from where they were. I was in starnation. You rang my bell to tell me off because I moved your junk, not once, but twice from a hot radiator? Now you feel all-encompassing and powerful, right? My reaction after realizing he was serious was that I argued back, which was error number 1, and breaks the BCR, the bird cardinal rule, which is as follows. You don't argue with crazy. Him. Don't touch my things without my permission. You ask me. Me. I took it off a hot radiator. Him. I know what's safe. Don't touch my stuff outside your apartment. Well, that radiator's right next to my apartment wall. I'm the landlord. If you want to have a good relationship with me, don't touch my stuff. And the top lock, don't touch that lock. Me. I didn't touch that lock. Why are you being so nasty? Why are you finding it necessary to be so nasty? Him. And this was at the heart of his POV. Sometimes you have to get nasty so people know you mean business. Oh, you poor little small man. This from someone who has so much power, materially speaking, but is really an unhappy, miserable human who quite possibly had a really crappy day at work, and to make himself feel like the Wizard of Oz, decided to unload upon me. And of course, his behavior is reprehensible, and no matter how manure-filled his day was, it did not give him license to urinate on me. And what's even dumber is that we have been getting along for some years. I thought these stupid type outbreaks were behind us because, oh, did we used to do battle on a regular basis at another point in time. But that was before I decided to change how I react to his stupid. And upon making that adjustment, we got along pretty well as a result. So I was really stunned by his revisit to crazy. But that's what happens when people operate out of their egoic power. One moment the sun is shining, and just as quickly it's a thunder and hailstorm, and you're wondering what the hell happened. Folks like that are basically blinded by their small little ego, by what their small little ego wants. I had a bad day and you touched my stuff. Well, I'm gonna show you. There's no rhyme or reason. Absolutely none. And what compounds things is that the rule he yelled at me about doesn't apply to him. Let's see. He recently put his hands on a security light I installed without asking and basically broke it. I made a comment about it before it died a dark life, and I was nice about it. I wasn't nasty. Also, without asking me recently, he put his grubby hands on a bucket I had outside to use for himself and freaking got cement in it. Oh, but I forgot. It's okay, because he's the landlord. All in all, this temper tantrum that he threw was shocking to me because, as I said, we had been getting along. So I was mad. I was so mad I could set the air on fire. Yet even though I was conscious enough not to lose my temper because things would have just escalated. And to what end? To what purpose? How would it have served me? But trust me, at another point in time, it would have been game over, do this on, and turned into a full-fledged screaming match right in the hallway, as in previous times. It was absolutely idiotic, this argument he picked. Yet, I knew to argue with him was ridiculous on my part. So I put an end to it and walked away. Ooh, but did I stew about it? Well, he raised my rent. He's petty enough. Well, he tried to put me out of a place I have lived in for 22 years. Quite possibly. Anyone that unhinged to pick a fight like that is capable of anything. He's petty and vindictive enough, especially when his ego feels threatened. Yet, for all this peace, light, love, and elbow grease, personal growth, I'm turning the other cheek. Mindfulness path, I stewed on and off for at least 12 waking hours. And some sleeping ones too, turning fears and anger over and over and over and over. I was okay when engaged in a project, but, well, sort of. But then thoughts like, what will he be like when we see each other next? Will I speak? Will he speak? Will he raise my rent? Will he kick me out? How dare he speak to me that way? I know he doesn't speak to any of the other tenants like that. Who the flippin' fliggle flackle does he think he is? Oh my God, this monologue went on endlessly. And even though I knew it was neither productive nor mindful, I battled with myself. Even though I knew I was giving my power away, and I ignored all of my advice and wisdom. Doi! I woke up the same way I went to bed, pissed off and not sitting in my power. Skip sitting on the side of the bed, the ground and center. But funny thing, as soon as I sat to put thought to this episode, I reclaimed it. I had a totally different theme in mind, but I realized that what had happened was so much more than someone using their power to disrespect and try to intimidate and bully me. It was actually about the use of power in general and how people choose consciously, or most often unconsciously, to wield it. Am I allowing his use of egoic power to uproot me from my authentic power? I was knocked way off balance. I allowed him to worry me. Oh yes, let's be clear, to channel Bernie Sanders, bruh man was out of line. But I entertained his boorishness too long. But that's okay, because everything is a learning experience in order for us to continue to grow. This is what I know. When I sit in my authentic power, his egoic power is not greater than I. No matter what he does, I choose to remember the Sufi poet Rumi's advice, which is to live life like it is rigged in my favor. Because it is. When I sit in my authentic power, I know that I cannot control how another acts, and that when you push back against people who operate on egoic power batteries, they push back harder and nastier and meaner, and you end up playing their game. It weakens you. And then they go off on their business just fine, and you're the one left seething. When I sit in my authentic power, I remember what my mission is, what I want to manifest, and to return my focus there, because true power is the present moment. Worrying and fearing what somebody may do robs you of a present, a true present, which has the seeds of the future in it, and everything you wish is pregnant within those seeds. Worrying and fearing is so counterproductive, and you actually turn the egoic person's negative energy upon you over and over and over repeatedly, with each replaying and retelling of what happened in your mind. I knew I had to stop replaying the mental movie. Everything is a lesson. Life is a spiritual school. And lesson number 999,999 is that even dickwads play a role in your evolution. Authentic power is operating and knowing that people like that really feel powerless, because at the end of the day, they may have a bunch of stuff like money, cars, houses, and the power to manipulate things as a result of their socio-economic political standing. But when you treat your fellow human beings with disdain, disrespect, and disregard of their divineness as you look down your nose at them, what do you really have of worth? I'm going to quote a line that's in my ebook, 7 Daily Thoughts and Mantras for Mindfulness. This is something a woman said to me as we got into a chat about mindfulness and being kind. She had seen what I was reading and struck up a conversation. At one point, she turned to me and she said, "Everything you have accumulated stays right here. You only have you to offer on your deathbed." Oh, that rocked me. I mean, dang, that was some deep stuff. You know, we ask artists and celebrities things like, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to say about you? But the legacy is in being kind. The legacy is when people are happy to see you. The legacy is in how you treat people, the earth and its inhabitants. That's authentic power. Though I draw the line at water bugs. Authentic power or egoic power? Which do you choose moment to moment? What are you aware of? How are you aware of your rolling in the world? How are you using your power? And you know, there are many examples to look at in terms of authentic power. One person that comes to mind for me is Tyler Perry. He's somebody that was homeless for a time. This guy goes and creates an empire in Atlanta, not Hollywood, the epicenter of the film and television industry, and it has been for eons. Did he allow bullies and naysayers to stop him? Oh no. He said, okay, I see you, but my faith and my authentic power is with me. So I'm going to go over here, buy and build my dream studio on land that was once a Confederate Army base, and employ huge numbers of Black and brown people who don't have the opportunities to get jobs in the Hollywood industry. And I'm going to name the sound stages after prominent African Americans in the industry. And I'm going to have my own Walk of Fame with stars on the pavement honoring the actors in my shows. And I got more coming down the pike for you. That is authentic power. You trying to get yours, but you also looking to benefit a whole heap of peeps. It ain't about you taking your will and trying to dominate another. That's not true power. That's operating out of the ego. Authentic power or egoic power? Authentic power is from your soul, and it feels good. Egoic power is from your fears. Claim your authentic self. Listen to what your soul guides you to do. Speak your truth from your heart. Be kind to others and be kind to yourself. Don't lash out when angry, even if it's at your husband. Take time and deep breaths before speaking to fellow Earthwalkers. Remember, it's never about the other person. It is ultimately about the only player in the game you can exercise control over, and that's you. Try this mantra on for size. Do this as you take a deep breath in and say to yourself, I step into my authentic power and take my seat. Exhale slow and long. Repeat the breath in. I step into my authentic power and take my seat. Repeat that as many times as you need to, because people will try you, people will test you, and you may have to remind yourself of that a few times as you are walking through your day to step into your authentic power when you just want to hit somebody upside the head or scream. You have to choose authentic power, because each and every time you do that, you have gained something. You have expanded yourself. You have raised your vibration. You have raised your frequency every time you step into your authentic power, particularly when people are trying to wear you out. That is really the time that you have to be in your seat of authentic power. And on that note, come step with me into a guided meditation. Begin to make yourself comfortable. If you are at home, lie down on the bed or the floor, or sit in your favorite chair. Settle your body. If you are outdoors and you're sitting under a tree or on a bench or even standing, begin to feel yourself releasing and letting go of anything that is pressing you now. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. Exhale. Repeat. Breathe in. Exhale. Just feel yourself beginning to root and ground. And as you hear the sound of my voice, continue to breathe on your own time, very slowly in, and always remember the exhale, much slower out. And as you are breathing on your own time, you are feeling your body begin to release. Your mind begins to empty of thoughts as you're listening to the sounds. And in front of you, picture yourself seated in white and glowing. See light coming from the center of your body in your solar plexus, just below your rib cage. See it getting brighter and shining, and now beginning to envelope you in this beautiful white light. See yourself surrounded. And as you sit in this light, know this is your authentic power. Breathe in deep here. And exhale. Repeating, breathing in and exhaling. And just sit in your mind's eye, in your authentic power. See yourself enveloped by this amazing power. See this power flowing from you. See this power flowing to you. See your authentic power moving in waves, enveloping you and supporting you. Taking a deep breath here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you now breathe again on your own time, use this mantra. I sit in the seat of my authentic power. I sit in the seat of my authentic power. I sit in the seat of my authentic power. I sit in the seat of my authentic power. Slowly begin to open your eyes, remembering as you begin to move to the next thing on your list for the day or night. Remember to think, I sit in the seat of my authentic power. I hope our time together was soothing, relaxing, and illuminating for you. I welcome your comments and questions here or on social media. Be sure to tag Jacquie Bird Spiritual Wellness for a chance to have your comments read on a future episode. And to deepen your meditation experience with me, go to JacquieBirdSpiritualWellness.com, where you will find ebooks on stress relief, mindfulness, and personal growth. You can also book a Stress Busters guided meditation session. And if you dig the talk segment, guided meditation, and the music in this episode, those tracks are available on JacquieBirdSpiritualWellness.com also. In the meantime, thank you for listening, and remember to roll with peace in mind.